Okay, very good afternoon to all the participants. Right, today we are very proud and also honored to have invited adjunct professor Max Sanker to come for and share with you guys his entrepreneurship journey and part of our CEO talk series. All right. My name is Dr. Lee. I'm the head of Unipreneurship Center, who has been with Utah for more than, I think, 12 years, right? And for the past few years, we know that there's a lot of things happen, right? Especially last 2 years. So let's see what CEO talk about the journey that actually before the pandemic and after the pandemic, what kind of things actually he can share with me and all of you guys. Let me just share with you guys the profile or some background about Prof. Max Sanker. He is actually the founder and the group CEO of Max Capital Management Holding Limited, a global project management consultancy firm. He's a serial entrepreneur and investor in a diversified portfolio globally. He advised many prominent companies on project management, corporate branding, public relations, as well as the business strategy to establish their global presences. Prof actually graduated with an MBA, which is a distinction from University of East London, UK. He is also the authors of the best-selling book Investments, a Strategy for Global Real Estate, and one of the feature person in the British Failure Successful People in Malaysia, published by the British Publishing House Limited. He received Midas Touch Asia Enterprise Platinum Award in 2015 in the presence of, I think a lot of you know him, the Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the UN, United Nations, and also the best CEO in real estate management from the prestigious International Finance Magazine Awards in 2017. He is also the honorary advisor to Women's Institute Management, a non-profit women's NGO, and the current honorary president of Selangor Basketball Association. He is also the industry advisor to Utah, Segi College, and Yayasan Perintis Malaysia, a non-profit youth NGO who the patron is Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad. Right, I think without further ado, let us welcome Prof. Max Sanker to share his experience with all of us. Thank you, Prof. I pass the floor to you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. And first of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Utah for having me here, and of course for all the students here for hoping, right, something that can inspire you. And these are very interesting topics. Entrepreneurship is very subjective as well, because most of the time, right, when we talk about entrepreneurships, I still remember, man, when I first graduate, right, after graduate, I tell my parents that I want to become an entrepreneur. That was back in 2002, almost like 20 years. Okay, so just because of someone encouraged me to become entrepreneurs, then at the time I was very, the Chinese always say "gang ho," right? You are first class honor students. You got an offer as a network engineer. 20 years back, starting salary with 7,000 ringgit. I think that is something that is very encouraging, right? But because my dream is to become entrepreneurs, so I rejected all the offers and then a full-time in business, okay, and until now, okay. And just now, I think Dr. Lee had mentioned about the WIM, right? A lot of people are asking, man, why you are involved in the WIM, woman NGO, right? We always believe in equality. And second thing is also, I think there's a lot of things that we want to share, especially I come from, I'll say I'm always a kampung boy. I'm not sure you heard about this town called Batu Arang in Rawang, right? It's named after Arang Batu, right? So basically, I think always the journey, how you grow up, your family, that shape a person. We are very, I'll say, gone through hardships, but these days the kids, I think they are very much, gifted, right? A lot of times, I'll say as a parent, I'm a father, all right, to a son. So I know whatever that we don't have those days, right? This is not something that we want to give to them, but the knowledge that we didn't receive or nobody teaches. This is knowledge that we want to pass on to the next generation. Like the late Kofi Annan always promote, knowledge is power. So I also believe that knowledge can not just transform a family, but also a nations. Okay, and then a bit of background. So a lot of people are asking why I'm going around all the universities and try to pitch people don't get a job but full time in business. I still I have EPF. My EPF is only 100 ringgit. When after SPM, I get a 3 months job in a gym. Right, you can see I ex bodybuilder. So basically, that's all I have in my EPF, 100 ringgit. Okay, a 3 months part time work. I come from a very, I'll say, a humble family. My father is a lorry driver, and then my mom have to work 3 jobs, okay, in a brick factory to put food on the table for 3 of us, all right, 3 siblings. So that is my biggest motivation. I want to study hard, right? I want to get whatever good result so that I can get a good job, I can get a good salary, and I can repay back my parents. Just a very simple, I'll say, a very naive, all right, motive. But that is my main driver. I really, in my SPM, I'm very lucky, all right? In my SPM, I only score 1A, all right? Then I enter into university because of my sport background. Then once I enter into universities, I really enjoy studying what I'm studying, IT. Okay, so most of the semester, I score 4 flat, first class honor, right? And then in the diploma, right? Because I come from a background, very humble background, so you don't know how you're going to get the tuition fee. So I have to work part-time, and then my mom and parents really work so hard just to get the money, just to survive, okay? And then I get a double diploma, and then luckily enough, all right, UTM Skuda accepted me to further study degree. So when I practical, I'm sure some of you may have gone through the industrial training. Even as a diploma, right, my I'll say allowance is 5,000 ringgit. That is back in 20 years ago. It's not about what you know, right? It's always about who you know and how you're able to sell, all right, yourself and also your skill, whatever things, all right? I think everyone is a salesperson. You just need to know how to sell your dream, even you want to, or your skill, even you want to apply for a job, right? So to become an entrepreneur, one of the skill that everyone should have is not about how good you want to, like the politician to sell whatever things, but it's how to sell yourself, your dreams, okay? And then the easiest way is just to find a role model. I have tons and tons of role model. Everyone have their own, I'll say their advantage, or some of them have their very strong point, their strength. So we just need to pick up 1 or 2 from each of these role model. But the easiest way to achieve success in the shortest way will be just find a good role model and copy what they have done. All right, you just copy the same thing. If you can't achieve 100%, at least you achieve 50%. Like people always say, shoot, all right, to the moon, all right, to the star, at least you still landed on the moon. Okay, and then there are many books, right, that changed my life. The very first book, okay, this is also the book that really made me to make that decision. All right, I don't accept the offer after graduation and then a full-time in business because I don't want to jump into what they call time for money trap, the rat race, right? You trade your time for money. Okay, this is a linear growth. I'm always believe in numbers, right? Numbers never lie. You just imagine linear growth, right? 5 plus 5 times is 25. And the power of exponential, 5 power of 5 become 3,125. There's a lot of times, right? Even I myself are also wondering, there are so many successful people in the world, right? They are billionaires, they are whatever. Are they different from us? Is their IQ is 1,000? They got 3 hands, they got how many eyes? No, they just are ordinary people. But sometimes, right, is the things that they choose, right? The decision they make, right? And what the system they have entered, that make a big difference. So for myself, right, after I learned about this, the secret, right? So I straight away pick up something that have exponential growth. Whatever I do, I always believe in 1 plus 1 no longer become 2. It can become 100, it can become 1,000. You just need to know how to leverage it. As an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, right, you need to know what is your cards and how you're able to leverage the resources that you have. All right, it can be human capital, it can be monetary, it can be whatever things that you're able to leverage, right? And then of course, I give you another example. A lot of people say, okay, get a job and then I work, then your salary, I try to save 10%, 20% every month. After 1 year, I save 1,000 ringgit, right? After 10 years, I save 10,000 or 100,000, then I start a business. But because you come from a different background, right? In school, no one have taught us how to become a successful person, how to manage our wealth, how to create, right? So tends to fail, and all the life saving is just gone, right? And how many 10 years you have, right? There's also the same question that my role model told me, right? How many 5 years that we have to be successful and repay back our parents? How many 10 years they have wait for us success and give them a better life? So I want to jump into the fast track. So the easiest way is OPM, other people's money, right? As entrepreneurs, right? Basically, you see a lot of entrepreneurs, what they have vision, they have some dreams, right? They can disrupt the world, the industry, whatever be it. But how you want to put this into a very simple proposals, all right? Or pitch that, or whatever things, right? The people, right, they will see, oh, okay, this is something, right, that will change the world, that at least whatever investment that I put in, right, I can make back. As an investor, it's very simple, I think, the expectation, right? They want the money to be safe and at the same time work harder for them, right? Not we work hard for money, but money work harder for us, right? So then you try to pitch your idea, your business proposals. You get one person, right? He maybe invest like 10,000 in your business. Another person, all right, a different level, right? Oh, okay, he buy this business idea, this business proposal can go much further from just this Klang Valley, can go to whole Malaysia or go to whole Southeast Asia, whatever. Okay, he really need to put in 1 million. So basically, right, we need to know how to leverage two important things. Okay, time is a very expensive resources. Okay, and then second is money, right? So we need to know how to leverage on this other people's times and other people's money. So whatever business proposal or idea that we have to, I'll say, take this into considerations, right? Because no investor going to wait for 10, 20 years to see their money back, right? And then of course, second thing is, this book also very like eye-opener, okay? As a fresh graduate at the time, right? Then I see, just I share, numbers never lie, right? So this is a study that done right in the US, okay, on all these fresh graduate after 65 years. You'll be surprised to know that only 5% of people either they're wealthy or financially independent. More than 50% either they are broke or they depend on their children's. And the saddest is 5% of people are still working, at the age of 65 years. So if you're doing the same thing, we're going to get the same result also. So we have to do something different in order for us to shift and change the whole futures, right? You cannot expect something very different if you're doing the same thing again and again and again, right? So as an entrepreneur mindset, right, we always, right, need to have, I'll say, private times. Like myself, every morning, I'll wake up at 5 o'clock, I'll do my workout, gym, right? At that private time, right? I spend some time and think about what I'm going to do, all right? What are the things that I can improvise? We don't compete with others. You just need to be a better person yourself than yesterday, right? Just try to think of how we can improvise. Even you can improve 0.1%, you times 365 days, that's a huge improvement. Okay, so as an entrepreneurs, if let's say you have organizations or you want to open a business, so you must always put in your heart and soul into the entire ideas, right? How we can improve even the operations, or maybe on the capital and all that. Then another book that changed my life, I'm sure most of you have read about this book, all right? Chung Baba, Fu Baba, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? If you look at this 4 quadrant, right, you'll be surprised. Right, everyone, I'll say a book, right? You don't have to read from A to the last page, Sometimes maybe on the page 10, there's a very solid statement, there's knowledge that, oh, okay, this is something that I pick up from this book that will change your whole life, right? So basically in this book, it really triggered my deep thinking, okay? The 4 quadrant, 5% of the wealth, right, raised by 95% of the populations. You just imagine, you got 95 people try to get $5, whereas there are $95, only 5 people are controlling. That's why they say the 5% people control the world wealth. Are they super genius? Are they alien? Whatever? No, they're just ordinary people like you and me, right? But there are things that they have done that have changed their whole futures. Okay, either they are business owner or they are investors. So of course, as a fresh graduate, we always encourage, right? Try to get a job, right? It may pay you a lesser salary. It's fine because your end goal is not to make rich from the salary. Hardly you see people become a millionaire, billionaire from the salary, unless Elon Musk, right? He started a company, but there is some carrot for him. Okay, then you look at what are the probability. Right? Numbers never lie, right? The probability. So for employee, you need to learn how to become a self-employed, then jump to business owner, then jump into a investors. So all these things, right? I'll say as a business owner, entrepreneurs, we always talk about vision or business plan or success roadmap. But what about ourselves? Do we have a plan? We always heard about fail to plan, plan to fail. So the same thing as entrepreneurs, as unipreneurs, right? We need to really, force ourselves. You may have to spend the first 10 hours just to sit down and think what you want to achieve in your life. You may not be able to predict 10, 20 years from now, but at least the 3 years, the short term, 1 year, 6 months from now, what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve all this, right? The why must be so big enough. All these, I'll say, obstacles, all these people who always say you cannot lie, this cannot and all that, all right? You just think that, convert that, impossible, I am possible. You can't, I can't, right? It's always about the mindset, okay? So whatever we do, right, you must plan this. So how I'm able to jump into the 5% of the population so I can enjoy the 95% of the world wealth, right? You have to plan all this. Of course, right, a lot of people will say, I always joke, success, right, is not about, people say, okay, how much money I have, I save a big car, big house. Not, I'll say in life, it's just too short, right? You never know when it's your last day, right? So whatever that we do is something that people will remember us. People will never remember us because we are once to be the richest man in the world. Can you remember the richest man in the world 100 years ago? I can't remember. Can you remember the richest man now? Yes, I can remember, but 50 years down the road, nobody will know who is Elon Musk. Nobody will know who is Jeff Bezos. But the life that we touch, right? That's also one of the main reasons why we have this community, right? That all these successful people, they share their knowledge, their experience, their success stories, their recipe, whatever, right? So that whatever that we try to, of course, we don't expect, always believe in one things, right? You have 100 people go to the same class, same teachers, but why? There are always people who are successful, and there are only some ordinary people, some even fail, all right? It's always about they themselves, right? What you want to achieve in life, all right? So sometimes we just lack of some motivation. Sometimes we just lack of some people who touch our life and give us a hand, right? To lead us to a next level, right? So that's why we always encourage when you're successful, one of the things that you need to do, right? You just share, all right, something, right? That hopefully one of your story or one of your statements or one of your strategy or one of your things have changed other people's life and their whole family, right? We don't expect any monetary reward, but something that we should be really, I'll say, proud of one day when our grandchildren ask us, hey, we have helped this person, we have helped that person. That's all, right? We don't really expect some monetary reward, okay? And then, of course, as an entrepreneur, right, this is something that we have to really embrace, okay? Even in one day, you have like 365-degree changes, right? 360. In the morning, you are so, yes, today is my day. Then after breakfast, suddenly you receive a message, or suddenly you saw a news, suddenly someone call you. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? All right, I have so many things. How am I going to propose, or this investor not going to meet me, or this person, right? And then the next moment you receive another call, another message. This investor going to meet you tomorrow. right? So as an entrepreneur, right, you need to prepare. The biggest, I'll say, war happening is not outside, it's here in your mind, right? You may not able to win the things that are happening outside, but you can control the things happening within yourself. So as an entrepreneur, you must be strong enough. That's why the why have to be so big that you don't see all these challenges. I give you a very good, I'll say, example. Okay, let's say some of you maybe in Utah, Sungai Long, right, or some of you in Kampar. Okay, if today, right, a crazy guy come up with an idea. Okay, for anyone, if you walk from Utah, Sungai Long to KLCC, I don't know, maybe 5 hours, 10 hours, right? But once you reach the destination, the goal, I give you a $1 million check. Will you walk? I don't know about you, but I walk, right? Why? Because the big why is so big that you forgot, right? These 5 hours, 10 hours walk, you know, people are hot, the sweat, whatever, right? Because your why is so big, right? So you must have a big why to become entrepreneurs, especially when no one believes in you, but you yourself have to believe in yourself, okay? And usually the closest people, your family members, your classmates, or whatever, will give you the coldest water, right? So of course, a lot of times people will say, how many times should we try? I don't know, right? I've tried tens and hundreds of times, okay? Because of 2%, my role model. One is KFC, right? Colonel Sanders. 1,009 people have turned down his KFC recipe. You just imagine if on the 1,008, he himself give up, turn down himself. We can't enjoy the KFC today here, right? Another person, Thomas Edison, right? He have failed 10,000 times, right, to develop the light bulb, right? Invent the light bulb. So you just imagine, right? If he give up, we didn't have light at night, right? I am so proud. Last 2 years, we was nominated in one of our PLC, okay, Property Investment Life Cycle, was nominated for this Thomas Edison Award, right? Sometimes you just have to think outside of the box. They say, you know, the 9 dots, how you connect. You can't connect within the box. You have to connect outside of the box so they can connect the 9 dots. The same thing also in our journey as entrepreneurs, as unipreneurs. Okay, sometimes we must be so persistent and we have to think outside the box. Right? If people are doing the same thing again and again and again and again, what we can do? You just need to improvise maybe 0.1%, right? Then you change the entire landscape of that particular industry or business. So sometimes we must always spend a little bit more time, all right? Some people will say meditation, whatever, right? You just need to have a private section, no one disturb you, not even your WhatsApp or your Facebook, all right? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Think how you can further improve your business model, right? How you can able to reach out to more, right? So all these, right, basically are really rely on yourself. And then of course, people will say, okay, to become an entrepreneur, just like we say, you have to learn how to sell, right? First yourself, your charisma, your personality, right? People will buy a product from you or service from you, not because sometimes, you know, like even a product, they can be 1,000 and similar products, maybe just a different kind of a price or packaging, whatever. But why he want to buy from you? Our clients want to buy from us, right? Because the solutions, okay, it's not about the price. Okay, price is what client pay, but value is what you sell. I give you a very good example, right? A kopi O, when you drink in a kopitiam, how much you pay? Maybe a ringgit 50, all right? But the same kopi O, we just name it espresso in a Starbucks. How much they're selling, right? Of course, some different bean or whatever. It's always about the value, all right? You just imagine the brand. Starbucks give you a comfort. You go there, no one disturb you. You know, you can enjoy a cup of coffee at your own sweet time. You can have a business, whatever. So that is the solutions. That is the value that we sell. So as an entrepreneurs, right, it's not about the business proposal or what product, what service, you know, or how much cheaper I sell. It's always about the whole packaging, right? The solutions that you sell to your consumers. Okay, so the first thing you need to learn is sometimes people will say, you know, you want to become successful, you have to be crazy, right? Get a mirror and you try to sell, pitch. The moment you yourself buy into that product or service, right, trust me, you have done a very good job already. You can basically convince a lot of people, because the hardest people, the toughest people to convince is you yourself. If you can convince yourself, take out money and buy the same thing, then you're successful, right? So I think these are things that as entrepreneurs, we must always polish our skill. And then another interesting thing is, I always believe in work, right? Just now we say, 1+1 person can become 100 or 1,000. Why? Right? Everyone have their own network, right? Who knows you. Okay. So as entrepreneurs, right, you must remember our biggest asset, okay, the intangible asset is 24 hours. You miss the 1 hour, you miss the 1 second, it's gone forever. So you must, all right, I would say spend wisely the time, because your average, right, your value is about 5 people that you mix the most. So to become successful, right, you mix your time with someone that is successful. You want to become a car mechanic, spend your time with the car mechanics. Right? You want to become a doctor, spend the time with the doctors. So you must spend your time wisely. When it's gone, it's gone. And of course, just now we talk about 95 or 5%. You want to become 95% or you want to become 5%, right? Of course, income or all this is just, I'll say, a benchmark, right? Ultimately, there are other things that will determine successful or not, right? But you must have a goal, right? For example, like some of the entrepreneurs, they always say, right, you must have a very clear, measurable achievements. Let's say you want to become 1% earner, top earner in that particular region, country, right? So you want to become top 1% earner in China, you need to achieve 100,000. So that is your goal. Very simple as entrepreneurs, right? So some people say why we are so motivated to make more money. It's not for our own comfort. For many of for some of you who knows me, I just normal car all this because my role model is Warren Buffett. All right, until today, what car is driving? Okay, the more money we make, the more people that we can help, the charities. So in our organization, we always set aside about, it used to be 10%, now we increase to 20% of our profit. Basically, we go to charity. We help a lot of things you don't see in the news, whatever we are doing, because charities come from heart. Okay, and then of course, don't afraid to fail, but be afraid not to try. As if you want to become an entrepreneur, like I shared with you just now. Okay, I tell my parents after I graduate, just imagine you are my parents, you are first class honor students, you got an offer, right, 7,000 ringgit 20 years back, right? I just tell my parents, give me 1 year to try to become an entrepreneur. If I fail, at least I try. Okay, if I fail, I can go back to work for the next 30 years. If that 1 year I put in all my heart, soul, whatever, blood, right? If I can change my future, I have a better life, not just for myself, but to repay back my parents. So they also, okay, I give you 1 year, right? You do what you have to do, need to do, all right? We don't disturb you, right? As long as you don't come and disturb me, all right? Don't disturb me, just give me a free hand, free mind and do, right? So maybe you also can, think of the same thing, all right? If you're doing too young, no problem, just build a network, you never know, okay? And then no skill is learned, right? Every day, if you just spend 1 hour to learn the skill that is important to change your business. For example, like even now, right, I just enrolled into University Malaya for my law, right? Because law is so important in my business, right? And that is my weakest point. So if I know my weakest point, I need to improve, right? So it's a lifelong journey, right? Learning. And then of course, no capital is no problem. Just see who are the potential investors. There's a lot of pitching sessions. You try to pitch your idea, business plan, and trust me, people are willing to invest because a lot of those rich men, right? Some people, they also want to help people, or second, their money in the bank, and it's always about inflation. Right? Whatever the FD interest against the inflation, basically, technically on paper, their money is depreciating. So they don't mind to diversify investment in all this startup. Okay. And people will say, after 20 years, why I'm so passionate on entrepreneurship and sharing all this, right? This is also my another role model, Steve Jobs. Okay. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. You have to do what you love what you do every single day. Right? As entrepreneurs, right? If your end game is so clear, you know what you want to achieve in life, all right? Trust me, right? You're going to enjoy passionate every single day, even though there are some challenges, but it's something that we learn, right? And just now I'll share again, right? Numbers, right? Never lies. Same mathematics. There are three important D's that we must have, right? If you say that, okay, why I don't see results? Result never lie. Numbers never lie. You're disciplined. Okay, if let's say you say, okay, I want to become an entrepreneur, then you have to work 24/7. All right, it's not a job. All right, you have 9 to 5 as an entrepreneurs. Before you are successful 24/7. Okay. Second is dedication. You have to dedicate all your times into building your dreams. Right. If you don't invest your time, your heart and soul into building your dreams, how are you going to convince someone else to put in money in your business? All right. And of course, a lot of people say, I don't have time. Make the time. All right. Everyone is same 24 hours. How you spend your time wisely. Okay. I don't know how many years at the beginning stage, I don't watch movies. I don't watch dramas. TV is, I don't know what is TV already for the, at least 10 years. All right. I don't know what is cinema. Right. Only recently because of this COVID pandemic lockdown at home, then I watched back Star Wars back in 1967, the first episode. Now the James Bond, Born to Bond, after so many years, right? Then only you have the time, right, to watch whatever you want to watch. But at this early stage, you really have to sacrifice. And then of course, the third one is desire, right? A burning desire. Sometimes you have to burn the bridge, right, so that you can achieve. Right? They're always old saying that if you want to achieve something so bad, right, you have to let go a lot of, I'll say, secondary things. Right, your primary goal is very clear. You want to be successful, right? I myself at the time, why? Because I raced against time. My parents are old. I don't know how many 10 years they have to wait for me to be successful. So I race against time. So that's why I put in all my heart and soul, just successful, right? I can send them to travel, the biggest achievement is you bring the whole family, your Ima Kuje, you go to travel on your expenses. Right? This is something that we should be very proud of. Okay. And then of course, a lot of people say I'm very young, I'm still studying, I'm not even graduate yet. It's okay, right? Sometimes you just need to believe in yourself. Even like Utah, right? Okay, we have this university development grant, right? It's a program that we do every year. Okay, the last year won by Utah also, the second, right? So if you have a good dream, you have a good vision, all this, right? Especially at Univet. I'll say, I joke with Dr. Lee, how I wish 20 years back, we have this kind of entrepreneurship development center in universities. 20 years back, I developed IT, right? So basically a security device from a network card. If I business-minded or somewhat a lecturer guide me, right, I can pattern the whole thing. I can just sell as a security key. Every key that's sold to all the laptop, right, just 10 cents, how much you can make. So sometimes we have to appreciate, right, what we have, especially now, I think Utah, you have this Univet, you really have to grab, right? I also surprised Dr. Lee can stick for 12 years. So that's a passion that you have. So always, right, grab all this opportunity. Sometimes opportunity you will not miss. You just go to someone else who are ready. Okay, so I think that's all from me. I hope some of the story or some of the things that I share, hopefully can inspire you to be a better person. Thank you. Back to you, Doctor.
Thanks, Prof, for the very fruitful kind of sharing. Yeah, I think all the participants will agree with me about. I think there are a lot of values as a person. Not talking about this, about the plan. You can see. I just write down a few words that if you want to be a successful person like Prof Max, I think that kind of dedication, when he talk about his work, it's all energy up already. First thing is full with energy. Actually, sometimes I message him, we message each other at 5 something. Yes, I also work out at 5 something, right? It's not because we are forced to do so, because we like to do. We are doing something what we like, then we feel like nothing to lose. Then the next thing is about I think we need to maintain a very good health. Everyone must agree. Yeah, when you're healthy, then only you can possess the wealth. Right? And all these things are confident on. A lot of people say, yeah, I know. But make sure when you do that time, you really can practice it. Right? I could see a lot of motivation camp. I see a lot of people are trying to attend more and more classes and all that. I think what more important is actually, like Prof said, you must know what you want and you have to plan for it. You can't just simply like, I heard that this is good, I heard that is good, but at least is it good for you, right? Because it might be good for others, it may not be good for you. So, all right, so I just open the floor for any questions you have. Please post it in the chat board here. But in the meantime, before that, the CCCD already collected some of the questions while waiting for other questions to come in. All right, do just put in your questions. I will take the question in as and when, but what I do is I just take in those questions that have been asked by some of the students as well as staff to Prof. All right, these are the two from actually have a student. That one is, what is the best possible thing I can do during the university if I'm going to undertake this entrepreneurship journey? Prof, you have any input for that?
Yeah, a lot of corporate, right, are also offering, say, maybe assistance or some opportunity to the students to become a unipreneurs. So I heard some of the corporate, they are offering some of the business opportunity, right, to groom or say, their apprentice to the students. When we start this journey, don't calculate what is the monetary reward, because our primary goal is to learn. The more we learn, the more we earn, right? So just put aside what is how much you pay me per hour, whatever. That is the secondary questions. Okay, what I can learn, how I can be part of the organizations. Okay, doctor?
Oh, thanks. The next question is, what kind of preparation should be done before they can become an entrepreneur? I think it's quite similar, but actually any other things we can add in for the preparation to become an entrepreneur? Anything that you can add in on that point?
Yeah, I think you have to prepare. First is your mind, right? Then is your attitude. Because in this, I'll say, entrepreneur's journey, right? It's not a very, I'll say, smooth, right? Like what you think people are successful just like overnight. There's a lot of hard work, blood and sweat. So if you want to really become successful entrepreneurs, the number one, all right, criteria I always say is your attitude. All right, 99% of success is 99 of this attitude. Only 1% is the skill. That's something that we can learn. Okay, for example, the hard work is attitude. So it's all about mindset. You have to believe, right? When no one believes in your wildest dream, so the attitude must be right. Sometimes you have to really, psycho yourself. I can be successful. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah. Some other question I just continue to put in. What kind of person to do? Is there any talent needed to be a unipreneur? And if a person should have an important quality, what kind of quality they should have as to start their journey as an entrepreneur?
Okay. Of course, just now we share about the attitude, the mindset. Then second is you have to prepare to become an entrepreneur. What are the resources that I'll need? All right, human capital, money, all right, where you want to do the business, what kind of business, all right. Always find a team that able to equip yourself. Right? You don't have to find all the, I'll say, heads, because heads don't do works. They just think. You need to find your hands, your legs, all right? If you're not good in accounts, find a partner that is good in account. If you're not good in marketing and sales, find someone that is good in that, right? For myself, I'm not a good talker, all right? If you know me when I'm in university days, I don't talk much. Even my course mate with me for the 5 years, right? I think we can calculate maybe 10 sentences. I'm that kind of person, all right? I'm very into study only, because at the time that is what I have. But then you have to start to network, right? And try to pull in all the resources in order. It's just like a car. I need a tire, I bring in a tire. I need a steering, I try to find a steering, even I don't have money. So as an entrepreneur, right, unipreneurs, basically you have to think on these directions, right? Try to find someone that able to help you on that. If you're not good in preparation or all this admin work or documentation, find someone that is very good in that, right? And you can also tell them, okay, become part of the team, right? There is a sweat equity. That's the easiest way if you don't have money.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a very important point. We can't do everything alone, especially come to the entrepreneurship. I believe some of students, sometimes we also come across from the University Center. Actually, the day we talk about this, actually, we invited some of the marketing specialists, and they find that, and surprisingly, when he comment, is like, you have student or unipreneur want to start everything by themselves, one person. He said it might be good idea, like what Prof said, you have to have a team. If you guys notice carefully, yeah, you might know that, okay, there's one Bill Gates, but behind Bill Gates, actually, there is a big team, right? You might think there is only one Jack Ma, but if you read the Jack Ma, then it will tell you, actually, we started like how many? 10 of them, right? They started as a team. But like Prof said, they might not be everyone is the speaker, the one who come and deliver the message. So normally the one say in front is the one who talk. The one who do it could be actually a big team. So do remember that. I think this is a very, very important point. Let's move on to the next question. I think this is a very similar challenge by Prof as well. Is it? My parents don't encourage me to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, but asking me to look for a good job after graduate. This I must be a first class student like Prof before lah. What should I tell them? Okay.
Okay. I think when we are young, right? Okay, we have the power, right? But we have lack of knowledge. We have lack of network. So use this. I'll say get a job, right? But you must find a job that able to equip you the right knowledge and furnish you with the right people for your own purpose. All right. The salary maybe pay half of what you're going to get in a public sector company, whatever, right? But that is not your end goal. Your end goal is you will learn, right? At the same time, you build your network, right? So that you can build your own business. Okay, so that I think when you tell your parents, right? Okay, one of the reason why I go and get a job, maybe only pay me 2,000 ringgit. That other company pay me 5,000 ringgit, but why? Because I want to learn, I want to build my network, right? Then second thing is you have to tell your parents, right, why you want to become entrepreneurs. Like my parents, right, they really encourage me and give me a full support when I tell them that one of the main reasons I want to become successful is because I want to send you all to travel, give you a better life and all that. It's always about, I'll say the bigger why, beyond you yourself, right? That will influence your parents that they see, okay, why not I give my kids a chance, right? If they fail, it's okay, right? They can go back to work for the next 30 years. But what if, right, we give him a moral support, not financial support. I don't know, maybe some of you, but if they can give you a financial support, better still. But if not, right, at least they give us the moral support and do what we like, really love, right? And hopefully one day we can successful and we can repay them back. Okay, doctor?
Yeah, I think this is something where a lot of students will need to answer because of the parents' concern is always, we call it consistent income versus inconsistent income, high risk versus low risk. Okay, as a parents, of course, they wish every child is a success, right? But if you are a parent, you always wish take a safer path where it's quite kind of deterministic path. So when it comes to like Professor Max Frankel kind of path, we really need to be tell ourselves to be very determined, honestly speaking. Like he said, determined to be a success. And the first person to convince, like he say, is convince yourself, sell to yourself, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur. Then the second person to sell to actually is your parents, right? Then the third person should be the one other people money and other people time. So I really understand this is important, and that's why Utah also set up the University Center to assist some of citizens to go and try out this path. Right? Let's continue some of the common question also. What skill should I acquire or equip to be a successful unipreneur?
Okay. There are many skills, but there are few, I would say, key skills that we need to acquire, we need to learn over a period of times, right? Is your networking skills. Remember, your network is your net worth. So really work on your network skills. It's not about go to any events and collect name cards, then that's it, right? But how you make people remember you, right? One of the main reasons why I joined this, I'm not sure you heard about BNI, right? I graduate 1 year, that's it, right? Because I want to go there and learn about the networking skills. How you, within the 60 seconds, you're able to structure your whole introductions. You sell yourself, you sell your company, you sell your business, your product, whatever. People can remember you, right? In that 60 seconds. Let's say you have a chance to take a lift with Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, right? From ground floor to the 10th floor. In that short span of time, how you're able to sell yourself, your whatever things that you want to sell to him, right? So there's a networking skill and sales skill. Second is your attitude. You always come back to the same thing. 99% is always about attitude. So you must have checkbox. Right? All these are skills that you must equip. Right? But the good thing is we can learn all these skills, but the attitude that we really sometimes we have to keep on remind ourselves. I need to be someone that's punctual, for example, attend meetings. I need to be punctual. Right? I need to do this, I need to do that. Something that you must train yourself. Right? And the third one is you have to, like myself, right? I forced to learn how to talk and how to sell, right? Because most of the successful people are super salesmen, right? They must know how to sell themselves, their company, their product and services, whatever it is. That's why you see a lot of scientists, they have good product, great product, but why it die off naturally? If you cannot sell the products, get a good partner, sell. Right? It's always about what are the shortfall you have and how you're able to overcome it with other resources. Okay. And another important thing is I always believe in 80-20 rules. Right? Whatever I do, most of the time I'll go back to this rule, basic rule, 80-20 rules. Most of the people wasted 80% times on things that is not important, that only achieve 20% of results. Remember, numbers never lie. If you wasted 80%, just try to achieve 20% of the result. Why don't you pick a bit? You invest 20% of time that can achieve 80% of results. It's always about, people say, don't work hard, but work smart. So the same thing, always back to the fundamental 80-20% rule, or how I can leverage on my time, my people, whatever things that it can give a great impact on the results, the 80% result. So you see a lot of people, right? The beginning stage, they work so hard, 80% of the time to achieve the 20% foundations. But the moment they learn the system, they build the SOP, they build whatever things, you see they have more times, but the result is great. Why? 20%, 80% results. So you do the same 80% hard work, how many times? Right? It's always about work smart. Okay, Doctor?
Thanks. Really, that's a very good what we call sharing on this part, because sometimes we heard people say, we thought, yeah, correct. But the thing is, I can say we really need to put it into action. Yeah. Right. And as it's very true, naturally scientists don't really know how to sell. All right. And I always say that those people who are gifted with the speaking skill, that means they can talk well. I always believe the next thing they need to learn is actually make sure you have a good product. But those people who have a good product, make sure you have a good partner to help you to promote. Right. We always heard people say this word, you don't understand. Then make people understand, no? So scientists have this problem, always say you don't understand. Then make people understand. But because of we have this challenge, we think too deep. So we need a layman to come and talk, then you call that salesman. Actually, salesman also very hard job one. They have to make sure other people understand. For us, if we do research, we just need to make sure we understand and our circle understand. So that's the difference between the business world and the scientific world, but actually they are actually converged if you put them into a business point of perspective. I think the rest of the characters are super important. I can see the energy level at Prof now is super high as soon as he talk about himself, especially you have a time to take leave with anyone. I remember last time when I took leave with my professor, and of course the dean just happened to be in the dean. I know that I have 5 seconds, so I just say what I want and make sure this 5 seconds I can make sure he remember, and I can follow up with him after that. That is really true one. And this is what we call the opportunities are only for those people who are ready. Get yourself equipped and always be ready for that. All right, so any more questions from the floor? Okay, just post it here. All right, if you have. If not that, this will be the last question that we pick up, and there are students ask like this: I'm about to graduate and want to be a young entrepreneur. In fact, you know it, we have a lot of these unipreneurs. They think this is a question that applies to most of them. And what is your advice? These are the going to graduate students question.
A very good question. Sometimes, we are lost also when we graduate to know what is our futures, but it's okay. Most of the people have gone through the same journey. The most important thing is you must really have a very clear vision for your own life. What you really want to achieve in your life, something that is measurable, right? It's not like I want to travel the world. How many countries you want to travel, right? What car you want to drive, how big, right? You must be very specific. The moment you have a specific goals, right, then life becomes easier. Even you have the best airplane in the world, if you know where you want to go, end of the day, you just know where you're going to, crash. So you must have a very clear goal. And then second is set the dream so big that all the obstacles become so small, right? That insignificant, right? So your goal must be very big, and always it has to be beyond yourself. Right? We always say you must serve the community, you must pay back to the family, right? Something that's so big, all right, and never calculate, all right? 不要计较, right? How much they pay you to learn, it's okay, because whatever people pay you, they can take away. But whatever we learn, right, basically it's belong to you. No one can take away, right? For the first 3 years, right, just go and try whatever you can try. It's okay to fail, all right? It's nothing to shame if you fail, right? But once you learn the right skill, you have the right connections, you have the right people with you, right? Trust me, success is just something promising. It's not difficult. The moment you learn how to make the first 1 million, the second 1 million, or the 1 million, it becomes so easy. Just like riding a bicycle. The first few, you fall down. But after you know, you can know how many kilometers you can ride, right? So never give up, never give up. Okay, doctor?
Thanks, Prof. This is again very good piece of advice. Yeah, I know those graduating students. So I think we both also used to be a graduate. It's like that. I remember when I took my first degree. Before that, actually, we were in this very tough exam. Like say the most difficult exam in the world, STPM, right? 5 subjects. And then my sister told me, he said, don't worry, you get yourself ready, then only you think of what you want to do. Yeah, we just like Prof said, we just all go all out, heart and soul every day to study. Score 5A. Then that time, we realized that in the whole country, only got 100 people score 5A. So actually everything is up to us. That means the foundation already now choose. Second thing is, yes, you got the first class degree. Next thing, what you need to do? It's like Prof said, yeah, if you want to go for entrepreneurship, just go. Because you have 3 years, you say, nothing to lose, you're still young, 21 years, 22 years old, you're still young, just try, keep trying. Is it something you want or not? I really agree with this, and a very good piece of advice. Yes, I've been with Utah for so long, but it's also a entrepreneurship journey for me. Why I say so is like, I have been in a different position since the day I joined Utah, from academic to research, from research to entrepreneurship as a head. So I have been a third paper, I also in different position before. Every time the president asked me to take up certain posts, I just say, okay, let's do it. Don't worry, it will be another success, hopefully, right? From Kampa to Sungai Long, from Sungai Long to Kampa to PJ, wherever, we just do, but with a very objective. I want it to be a success. So I think that's what we all learn from Prof today, right? And I really appreciate for his time, right? Thanks, really thanks for everyone's times. I believe this 1 hour, we learn a lot about do we have a right attitude if you are going for an entrepreneurship journey, right? And I also really appreciate everyone's kind of time and really understand. Prof always share his experience, not about his business and what does he do. I think over many years, he might learn something which is called, it's not just about what he does, it's like what kind of value actually he has built and what kind of network actually he has got and make him today. Because I actually listened to Max talks many times already. I realized one thing. He emphasized a few points where I think is very, very important. Even I actually older than him, but I still so much to learn from him. Is about actually what he said. The network is very important, because sometimes I also ask him to lend some network to me. That's very important. Second thing is about, I think, the attitude. He has a very, very fantastic attitude. So as a student, even as a lecturer, we all respect that, because when I first heard about his name, he's like so far, so tall, so big. When I really got to know him as in person, like he said, he's just a normal person. Yeah, this is true, right? It's just that he possessed some what we call a value or characters where we all should learn and become part of our characters and values, and that makes us again a successful person. Like you say, it's not measured by your wealth, it's measured by your contribution to the society. All right. So that I would like to again thanks Professor T.S. Shankar for his sharing. Thanks for his time. He's a busy person, and let's give him guys. Let's give him a big a round, and by showing reactions. All right. Thanks, and on thanks, really thanks. All right. Okay, we thank you for your time again, and thanks guys for all your time, and thank you. And we end the sessions here. Thanks a lot again.
Bye, everyone. Take care.